Since humans invented nets and trawls, they have been hauling not only fish and cephalopods to the surface but also gelatinous, shapeless, translucent masses, often unidentifiable and unknown to science. Some are jellyfish with rigid bodies that retain their form out of water, making identification easier, but distinguishing between species is frequently impossible. These unappealing masses, whose beauty shines only in their natural environment, were underestimated until scuba diving and submersibles revealed their importance and diversity. Over the past 30 years, it has emerged that these transparent organisms are far more numerous, voracious, and widespread than once thought, often dominating as predators in various oceanic regions. Some even form closed food chains, feeding primarily on other gelatinous creatures. These include siphonophores, jellyfish, ctenophores, snails, worms, and some fish larvae, most of which are over 95% seawater, with just enough structure to function. Despite their fragility, many are formidable predators, equipped with venomous tentacles, adhesive cells, or specialized feeding adaptations. Their strategies vary widely. Siphonophores, modular creatures with roles divided among colony members, can reach over 40 meters in length. Ctenophores use iridescent combs for propulsion and delicate tentacles to trap prey. Near the surface, transparency offers camouflage, while in deeper waters, darker hues mask bioluminescent prey within their stomachs. Gelatinous animals can outcompete other species by rapidly reproducing under favorable conditions, depleting their environment of food. Some are cannibals, like the ctenophore barrow, which devours its kind. Their longevity remains uncertain, with smaller species living weeks to months and larger, abyssal forms possibly enduring for decades or even centuries. Despite their abundance and ecosystem impact, these creatures were largely overlooked due to their fragility and elusiveness. Early plankton nets reduced them to mush, and their natural habitats were inaccessible until advanced diving and submersible technologies emerged in the 1970s. Today, about 2,000 species are known, with 50 new ones discovered annually. Their lineage spans over 500 million years, predating most animal life. As exploration continues, new gelatinous species, tiny and massive alike, are regularly found, underscoring their pivotal role in the ocean, the planet's largest ecosystem. Long thought to be a flat, lifeless desert, the ocean floor is now known to feature a terrain more rugged than the Himalayas and a biodiversity potentially surpassing the Amazon rainforest and Great Barrier Reef combined. While Earth's average land altitude is 750 meters, the ocean's average depth is 3,200 meters, making the abyssal depths the largest habitat on the planet. The seafloor covers the most extensive area suitable for life, with its vastness underscored by the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a mountain chain that dwarfs terrestrial ranges like the Himalayas. Shrouded in perpetual darkness except for bioluminescence and faint hydrothermal vent glows, the abyss harbors life entirely reliant on microbial and animal processes. Its plains, between 4,000 and 6,000 meters deep, appear monotonous but teem with activity beneath their sediment layers. Tiny creatures like worms, brittle stars, and crustaceans burrow, feed, and reproduce in the mud, leaving tracks and mounds visible from submersibles. Wandering sea cucumbers, sediment-clearing sea urchins, and glassy sponges illustrate the ecosystem's diversity. Fish glide above the seafloor or perch on modified fins, ready to ambush prey. Remarkably stable environmental conditions prevail at such depths, yet some species reproduce seasonally. These cycles correspond to surface plankton blooms, whose debris sinks and fuels life below. Detritivores, reliant on this food, synchronize reproduction, though how they locate mates in darkness, perhaps through chemical cues, remains a mystery. Not all seafloor landscapes are flat. Rocky areas like mid-ocean ridges, guyots, and continental slopes host unique life forms, including coral reefs, stalked crinoids, and carnivorous tunicates. Sponges and gorgonians provide shelter for opportunistic species, creating vibrant ecosystems atop nutrient-scarce rocky outcrops. This extraordinary and vast habitat, essential to Earth's biodiversity, continues to reveal its secrets with each new exploration. Chinook salmon are known for their ability to swim at great depths, often inhabiting waters up to 450 meters deep during their oceanic phase. This behavior helps them avoid predators and access cooler waters, crucial for their survival and growth. They are the largest of the Pacific salmon species, with some individuals reaching over 50 kilograms and lengths exceeding 1.5 meters. Their physiology is well adapted to deep swimming, with a swim bladder that allows them to regulate buoyancy and a robust circulatory system capable of handling the high pressures of deeper waters. Swordfish are among the largest billfish species, reaching lengths of up to 4.5 meters and weights of 680 kilograms, with females typically growing larger than males. They are ectothermic but possess specialized heater cells near their eyes and brain, enabling them to see and hunt effectively in cold, deep waters by maintaining eye temperatures 10 to 15 degrees Celsius above the surrounding water. Swordfish use their long swords not to skewer prey but to slash and stun their targets, which include a wide range of pelagic fish, squid, and crustaceans. This highly migratory species is a skilled deep diver, typically reaching depths of 550 meters and sometimes as deep as 2,800 meters, while preferring surface waters at night for feeding. They are solitary swimmers, occasionally forming loose aggregations, and are known for their spectacular breaching and basking behaviors. Swordfish are prolific spawners, with females capable of producing up to 29 million eggs, and spawning occurs year-round in tropical waters or seasonally in temperate zones. The ocean sunfish holds the title for the heaviest bony fish, with adults typically weighing between 500 and 1,000 kilograms. This fish has a highly unusual body shape, with a flattened, disc-like appearance. Its body lacks a tail in the conventional sense, with a structure called a clavus instead, which resembles a rudder. They are often seen basking near the surface of the water, where they float on their sides or back. They are known to sunbathe to regulate their body temperature, as their massive size can make it difficult for them to warm up in deeper, colder waters. Despite their size, mola molas have relatively short lifespans, living for around 10 years on average. Mola mola are found in both deep and shallow waters, often at depths of up to 600 meters and in warmer oceans globally, from tropical to temperate regions. Great white sharks are among the largest predatory fish in the world. They are known for their incredible speed, capable of reaching speeds up to 56 kilometers per hour in short bursts. They use this burst of speed when hunting prey like seals, often leaping from the water in spectacular, breaching attacks. While great white sharks are often associated with shallow coastal waters, they are also found at great depths. They have been recorded diving as deep as 1,200 meters at these depths. They can hunt a variety of prey, including fish and seals that are found in deeper waters. Their ability to dive to such depths is thought to be linked to their need to follow prey and seasonal changes in water temperatures. Its presence at great depths is not fully understood yet, as their deep water habits remain largely mysterious. Advances in tagging and satellite tracking are allowing scientists to study their movements more closely, revealing how they adapt to oceanic layers and travel across vast distances, including to deeper, colder waters in search of food. Leatherbacks are the largest sea turtles, growing up to almost 3 meters in length and weighing as much as 900 kilograms. Unlike other sea turtles, leatherbacks have a soft, leathery shell rather than a hard, bony one. The shell is made of a flexible layer of skin overlaid with osteoderms. This unique structure helps them survive in colder waters, which most other sea turtles cannot tolerate. They are exceptional deep divers. They can dive as deep as 1280 meters in search of food, such as jellyfish, which make up the majority of their diet. This ability to dive to such depths is facilitated by their large, muscular flippers and their adaptation to withstand high pressures at these depths. Leatherbacks are one of the few reptiles known to have some degree of endothermy, or the ability to maintain a body temperature higher than the surrounding water. This adaptation, along with their specialized fat storage, allows them to survive in colder waters that would be inhospitable to most other turtles. The narwhal is a species of toothed whale native to the Arctic. It is a stocky cetacean with a relatively blunt snout, a large melon and a shallow ridge in place of a dorsal fin. Males of this species have a large 1.5 to 3 meters long tusk, which is a left protruded canine thought to serve as a weapon or as a tool for feeding, attracting mates or sensing water salinity. Specially adapted slope witch muscles, along with the jointed neck vertebrae and shallow dorsal ridge allow for easy movement through the Arctic environment, where the narwhal spends extended periods at great depths. Its diet mainly consists of polar and Arctic cod, Greenland halibut, cuttlefish, shrimp, and armhook squid. Plunging at depths of up to 2,370 meters, the narwhal is among the deepest diving cetaceans. There are an estimated 170,000 living narwhals, and the species is listed as being of least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The giant Pacific octopus is the largest species of octopus, with individuals reaching up to 9 meters in arm span and weighing as much as 270 kilograms. They are incredibly intelligent, with complex nervous systems and large brains relative to their body size. They are known for their ability to solve puzzles, escape enclosures, and exhibit behaviors suggesting memory and learning. They are also capable of recognizing individual humans and can develop preferences based on interactions with them. While the giant Pacific octopus can be found in shallow coastal areas, it also inhabits deeper waters, typically at depths ranging from 20 to 200 meters. Some individuals have been spotted as deep as 2,000 meters at these depths. The octopus navigates the ocean floor using its strong arms and sensitive suckers, which help it explore crevices and hunt for prey. It has a relatively short lifespan, typically living only 3 to 5 years. During this time, it undergoes rapid growth, with females often growing larger than males. After mating, females lay thousands of eggs and guard them until they hatch, after which the female dies. Males also die shortly after mating. Like a prehistoric tadpole, Chiropractus longiphilis, with its oddly perforated mouth marked by large sensory pores, seems to reinforce the myth of the deep sea as a haven for fossil-like creatures unchanged since time immemorial. Yet, despite its appearance, this fish is not among the ancient sentinels of our planet, unlike horseshoe crabs or coelacanth, whose fossil records date back more than 250 million years. The Greenland shark is the longest living vertebrate known, with some individuals estimated to live over 400 years. Their slow growth rate of about 1 centimeter per year contributes to this incredible lifespan. Although they are found in shallower waters of the Arctic, Greenland sharks frequently inhabit depths of 100 to 2,100 meters. Their deep-sea lifestyle helps them evade many predators and human disturbances. They thrive in near-freezing waters of the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans, with a preference for temperatures ranging from 0 to 10 degrees Celsius. Adapted to the deep, food-scarce ocean, they have an extremely slow metabolism. This allows them to survive on minimal energy and go long periods without eating. Many Greenland sharks are blind or partially blind due to a parasitic copepod that attaches to their eyes. Despite this, they rely on other senses to navigate and hunt in the pitch-black depths. The orange ruffy is a relatively large deep-sea fish belonging to the slimehead family. It is bathypelagic, found in cold, deep waters of the western Pacific Ocean, eastern Atlantic Ocean, Indo-Pacific, and in the eastern Pacific off Chile. It is notable for its extraordinary lifespan, attaining over 200 years. It is important to commercial deep trawl fisheries. The fish is a bright, brick-red color, fading to a yellowish-orange after death. Like other slimeheads, orange ruffy is slow-growing and late to mature, resulting in a very low resilience, making them extremely susceptible to overfishing. Many stocks became severely depleted within 3 to 20 years, but several have subsequently recovered to levels that fisheries management believe are sustainable, although substantially below unfished populations. Victorniella ardabilia thrives in deep-sea hydrothermal vent environments, areas characterized by high pressure, extreme temperatures, and chemical-rich fluids. These habitats are among the most inhospitable on Earth. This polychaete worm is a specialist scavenger, adapted to consume decaying organic material such as dead fish and other marine organisms that sink to the deep ocean floor. Its feeding strategy supports its survival in nutrient-scarce environments. It has specialized mouthparts and digestive enzymes that allow it to break down and consume decaying material efficiently, even in the low oxygen conditions of the deep sea. Because it is difficult to access deep-sea corals for study, relatively little is known about the microbiome of Paragorgia arborea. It has been found to have a host-specific microbiome and an external surface mucopolysaccharide layer, which is a mucus that acts as a defense against waterborne pathogens and helps the coral filter feed. It is a filter feeder. It eats organic matter suspended in the current it lives in. It optimizes nutrient uptake by adjusting its behavior to the tidal cycle. When the tidal currents are coming in, coral polyps extend to actively feed on the organic matter being brought in with the tide. After the tide has gone out and the currents aren't bringing in as much organic matter, the coral polyps retract to digest the food or be inactive. Heterocarpus ensifer is a species of deepwater shrimp. Despite being one of the most abundant shrimps in some areas, its biology is still poorly known. These deepwater crustaceans are most copious between 300 and 400 meters. Their distribution demonstrates an ability to adapt well to distinct environments. It is generally found at depths of 200 to 885 meters. The thorn-toothed grenadier is a rat-tail, the only member of the genus Lepidorhynchus, found around southern Australia and New Zealand. At depths of between 200 and 1,000 meters, its length is between 20 and 55 centimeters. Bathycyrophosteri is a species of lobate ctenophore found at intermediate depths in all the world's oceans. The species is very common and abundant near the mid-Atlantic ridge. It is bioluminescent, and is typically observed hanging motionlessly in an upright or inverted posture, although it can flap its oral lobes to swim. This deep-sea comb jelly is named for Alvin Pilot Dudley Foster, who collected the first specimens. Bathycyrophostere is mostly transparent with red pigmented inner gut walls. It has short comb rows and measures 2 to 4 centimeters across the oral lobes. These oral lobes are used to contain prey until they are drawn into the gut with its tentacles. Ridge-scaled rattail can reach 1 meter in total. The eyes are relatively large. The snout is short and moderately pointed. Coloration is medium brown to somewhat straw color, with darker, sometimes even blackish fins. In the waters of the Falkland Islands, females reach 50% maturity at 21 centimeters preanal length and 14 years of age. Males reach 50% maturity at 16 centimeters preanal length and 12 years of age. Maximum recorded age is 53 years. This female humpback anglerfish, with her flabby and stretchable skin, embodies all the traits of a fierce deep-sea monster, yet she is no larger than a grapefruit. The round body of ceratioids, a group closely related to anglerfish, allows for perfect stillness in midwater. This immobility not only conserves energy but also prevents them from revealing their presence to predators or prey sensitive to the slightest water vibrations. Captured females often bear one or more males attached to their sides. These males are parasitic dwarfs that fuse their tissues with the females, gradually degenerating until they become completely integrated into her body. Females have large mouths filled with sharp teeth and huge stomachs that make them capable of eating nearly everything they encounter. Their stomachs are highly digestible and expand easily, allowing them to consume meals weighing more than themselves. Lacking powerful jaws, sharp teeth, or menacing fins, siphonophores are nevertheless deadly predators, ranking among the ocean's most voracious hunters. These hybrid creatures unfurl curtains of stinging tentacles, which in the largest known siphonophore, Praia dubia, can reach lengths of 40 to 50 meters. Biologists Stephen Haddock and Casey Dunn compare these superorganisms to a train, with a locomotive at the front for propulsion and carriages at the rear dedicated to reproduction, feeding, and defense. As the siphonophore moves, the locomotive fills its gas-filled floats while the trailing carriages gather into a compact mass. This peculiar little creature with a tousled helmet is the larva of a blind benthic crustacean, frequently collected by deep-sea trawls. It is possible that the air pocket created by its swollen carapace allows it to take flight and rise into the water column, where it will grow among tens of billions of other larvae. It will molt several times until it reaches a size that permits it to descend back into the great depths. Large wolf eels are curious and are rarely aggressive, but are capable of inflicting painful bites on humans. The male and female may pair for life and inhabit a cave together. The two watch their eggs together and one always stays behind when the other leaves to feed. This eel-like fish feeds on invertebrates with hard shells and some fishes, crushing them with its strong jaws. It has been observed in captivity that when they are fed soft food such as squid, they tend to prefer it over hard food, which can damage the back teeth. Males have large lips and a protuberance on the superior part of the head. The lifespan of this species is about 20 years. Dinoculus ossibili has a carapace length of around 3 centimeters, and is in life mostly translucent white, with reddish-pink coloring near the middle of the carapace, on the tail fan, on the antennae and on the first pariepods. Its two claws are very different in size. It is only known from its type locality, off the coast of Luzon in the Philippines. It was found by trawling at a depth of around 250 meters in 2007, as part of the Census of Marine Life, a major effort to document marine life in the first decade of the 21st century. The stomach of this recently discovered ctenophore is always a deep blood-red color. The red, which appears black underwater, helps conceal the bioluminescent glows emitted by its swallowed prey. This allows it to digest in peace without risking ending up in the stomach of another predator. This ctenophore differs from all previously described lobate ctenophores in two major ways. All of the meridional canals have blind aboral endings, and the body is penetrated by a deep notch located between the adjacent subtentacular comb rows at the level of the infundibulum. Southern elephant seals are among the deepest diving marine mammals, regularly diving to depths of 400 to 1,500 meters. Exceptional dives can exceed 2,100 meters. These deep dives enable them to access food sources in the mesopelagic and bathopelagic zones. They can remain submerged for astonishing lengths of time, with average dives lasting about 20 to 30 minutes, and the longest recorded dive stretching to nearly 2 hours. Southern elephant seals store oxygen primarily in their muscles and blood rather than their lungs, which they partially collapse to prevent decompression sickness. During dives, they reduce their heart rate to as low as 3 to 4 beats per minute, conserving oxygen for critical organs. These seals are highly migratory and spend months at sea, covering thousands of kilometers in search of food. Their foraging trips often lead them to the edges of continental shelves and deep oceanic trenches. Elephant seals are crucial contributors to oceanographic research. Scientists have equipped them with data logging devices to measure ocean temperature, salinity, and depth in remote and poorly studied areas, such as the Southern Ocean and under Antarctic ice. The two enormous telescopic eyes of Winteria are a valuable adaptation for gathering all available light, granting the animal an undeniable visual advantage when hunting in the dark. The high number of rod cells in its retina also enables it to distinguish bioluminescent glows from ambient light, helping it avoid many of the traps that deep-sea creatures set for one another. The binocular fish is a species of barreli found in oceans around the world at depths from 400 to 2,500 meters. This species grows to a length of 15 centimeters. Unlike most barrelis, this fish has more forward-facing eyes, but it still has the dome. The menacing appearance of the common fangtooth is heightened by its skeletal jaws with strange protruding ridges. The compartments visible beneath its sparse flesh contain channels equipped with hypersensitive receptors, allowing the fish to detect the slightest water movements. The common fangtooth lives at depths where darkness is absolute, the cold and pressure are extreme, and resources are exceedingly scarce. Armed with an oversized jaw and sharp fangs, it is perfectly adapted to the austerity of its environment. It appears that this fish lives for at least 3 years. These fish were tested to see how pressure affects their respiration as compared to other fish. Researchers found that these fish are able to regulate their respiratory system according to their environment and that the respiration rate was directly proportional to the size of the fish. When seen in motion, it resembles a sort of spider playing an invisible harp. This strange creature is unlike any other inhabitant of the water column, leaving researchers perplexed until now. Biologist Karen Osborne was the first to study these animals in situ, discovering that these relatives of isopods can swim freely more than 3,000 meters above the seafloor or traverse the substrate using their long legs. The incredible distances these tiny beings can cover speak volumes about the efficiency of their swimming technique. They paddle using oar-like appendages adorned with bristles that increase their lift in the water. Due to their long legs, these isopods must swim backward, dragging their limbs behind them. They brood their young in a ventral pouch that can house hundreds of larvae. It is likely that the mother consumes a few or that the larvae cannibalize each other before reaching independence. Gelatinous creatures dominate the oceans in terms of their abundance, size, and diversity, yet we are only beginning to understand the role they play on a planetary scale. Each year, researchers observe a significant number of previously unknown specimens, but taxonomic descriptions that lead to the identification of a new species require multiple captures of the same organism. In many cases, however, these observations occur only once. Moreover, even when multiple individuals are found, it can take years to successfully place them within the tree of life. Those who have observed this mist out of the water will never forget its vivid red color, so intense it seems to glow from within. Red wavelengths are the first to be absorbed by water. At the depths where this shrimp-like creature lives, its body appears completely black. If, despite this effective camouflage, it is disturbed by a predator, it defends itself by ejecting a secretion of blue bioluminescent particles that startle and disorient its attacker. The red color of this bioluminescent jellyfish reliably indicates that it lives beyond depths of 600 to 700 meters above this threshold. Gelatinous creatures are most often transparent, allowing them to remain inconspicuous in the perilous twilight zone. Like several related species, Paraphilopsis broweri is capable of bioluminescence. In response to stimulus, it emits rapidly pulsating light from multiple sites, and expels luminous material into the water. Unlike the giant squid, the colossal squid possesses swiveling suction cups equipped with hundreds of hooks that act like formidable teeth, biting into the flesh of its victims. Armed with such weaponry, this deep-sea giant is a far more voracious predator than Architeuthis. The species is confirmed to reach a mass of at least 500 kilograms, though the largest specimens, known only from beaks found in sperm whale stomachs, may perhaps weigh as much as 600 to 700 kilograms, making it the largest known invertebrate. Estimates of its energy requirements suggest it is a slow-moving ambush predator, using its large eyes primarily for prey detection rather than engaging in active hunting. Many sperm whales have scars on their backs, believed to be caused by the hooks of colossal squid. Colossal squid are a major prey item for sperm whales in the Antarctic. 14% of the squid beaks found in the stomachs of these sperm whales are those of the colossal squid, which indicates that colossal squid make up 77% of the biomass consumed by these whales. The red umbrella of the jellyfish Pandia rubra exhibits exceptional abilities for a gelatinous animal to crumple, wrinkle, and form right angles. When this very rare jellyfish was first observed in the United States, researchers aboard the oceanographic vessel thought they had discovered a new species. Its transformations reminded them of the Japanese art of paper folding, origami, and they dubbed it the origami jellyfish. However, they later realized that biologist Dougal Lindsay had already named this remarkable creature, which had been previously collected in Japan. Smoothhead blobfish is a deep-sea fish of the family Cycroludidae. It inhabits the deep waters off the coasts of mainland Australia and Tasmania, as well as the waters of New Zealand. They are typically shorter than 30 centimeters. They live at depths between 600 and 1200 meters, where the pressure is 60 to 120 times greater than that at sea level, which would likely make gas bladders inefficient for maintaining buoyancy. Instead, the flesh of the blobfish is primarily a gelatinous mass with a density slightly less than that of water. This allows the fish to float above the sea floor without expending energy on swimming. The blobfish has a relative lack of muscle, but this is not a disadvantage, as its main food source is edible matter that floats in front of it, such as deep ocean crustaceans. If there is one undeniably strange creature in the ocean depths, it is the jeweled squid. One of its eyes is small and recessed into its body, while the other is extraordinarily large and literally protrudes from its orbit. This animal is highly adapted to life in the ocean's twilight zone. The smaller eye is constantly focused on the darker, lower layers, while the larger one is directed toward the brighter waters closer to the surface. It is believed to swim at a 45-degree angle to maximize the efficiency of this specialization. The skin of larger individuals develops dermal warts underneath the epidermis. Like a black hole in space, this jellyfish absorbs all the light that reaches it. Careful observation reveals that it is not merely composed of translucent gelatin but also features a velvety, deep black bell. This creature has achieved the ultimate level of perfection in the art of camouflage. Within its dark environment, it is utterly invisible. This likely explains why it was only discovered in 1992, within the depths of Monterey Canyon. Unlike many hydromedusae, these animals do not have a sessile stage. Rather, they spend their entire lives in the water column as plankton. This creature never ventures to the surface. Instead, it remains motionless, lying in wait at the edge of light penetration, beyond 700 meters deep. The Greek roots of its name refer to a toad adorned with stalks, a nod to the multitude of sensory filaments that allow it to detect the slightest nearby vibrations. This animal, easily identifiable here as a female since males are dwarfs, is very rarely observed or captured. The maximum published total length is 1.6 centimeters for males and 20 centimeters for females. They have large eyes and large nostrils, with large olfactory receptors. They have no teeth in the jaws, although there are tooth-like structures on the jaw bones which are used to attach to the larger female. The large, well-developed eyes and olfactory apparatus of the metamorphosed males are used to detect and home in on a species-specific chemical released by the female to attract males. When the male finds a female, he bites her and the tissue and circulatory systems of the pair fuse. He becomes a sexual parasite on the female and is nourished by the female through shared blood. For the remainder of his life, he is attached to the female and fertilizes her eggs. This pair of flying buttocks is a newly discovered species of worm, recently identified by researchers from the Mbari Institute in California. Its close relatives are polychaete worms that live in tubes anchored to the seafloor, with their larvae spending several months in the water column. It is believed that by adapting to a pelagic lifestyle, this animal has retained morphological traits characteristic of its larvae, which explains its surprising form for a worm. The pigbutt worm feeds by inflating a mucus balloon designed to collect organic particles that drift down from the surface. Only 10 specimens have been observed in 4 years of research. The worms are neutrally buoyant, and have been observed floating along with their mouthparts facing downward, and their hind parts towards the ocean surface. As these worms have shown no ability to swim or otherwise propel themselves through the water, and have no long, protruding appendages to catch prey with, they must rely on filter feeding to survive. The length of Botronema brucei body is up to 3 centimeters and is clear translucent, with white or blue hues. It has 11 to 12 marginal tentacles in 16 easily broken groups and 8 radial canals. The top of bell has a knob-shaped process. It is primarily found in the Arctic Ocean, with some records in the subarctic Atlantic. Bathypelagic observations have been recorded between 900 and 2,600 meters, while plankton nets suggest slightly greater numbers below 2,000 meters than of between 1,000 and 2,000 meters. Pseudocetanurus septifer is a species of rattail, the only known species in the genus Pseudocetanurus. This fish is found at depths of up to 950 meters in the waters around Hawaii and in the southeastern Pacific. It has recently also been recorded on the other side of the Pacific, near Taiwan, and this species probably has a pan-Pacific distribution but has been under-recorded due to the depths in which it lives. This species attains a length of up to 40 centimeters. It is unique among rattails in having 7 branchiostical rays and a large gill opening. This is a generally very dark, sometimes black, fish with a very large head and small, widely spaced eyes. There is a small bioluminescent organ located between the pelvic fins. The only part of the cockatoo squid's body that isn't transparent is its eyes. To camouflage their silhouette from predators below, the cockatoo squid has bioluminescent photophores that rotate to always face downward, canceling out the opacity of its eyes through a technique known as counterillumination. When at rest, this squid holds its arms and tentacles tufted above its head, resembling the bird after which it is named. They measure about 15 centimeters when juvenile but can grow up to 3 meters in adulthood. This would make it the second largest squid species in terms of mantle length, after only the colossal squid, and even surpassing the mantle length of the giant squid. However, Niesi's added that, because of its narrow body, we conclude that its mass is consistently lower than that of the other large squids. The Atala jellyfish, widely found in the deep sea, is known to explorers for its remarkable bioluminescent display, a kind of rotating disc that suddenly bursts into 1,000 blue flashes. Atala performs this spectacle when threatened, aiming to draw the attention of another predator to its attacker. This strategy is akin to our deafening car alarms, with the key difference that, in the darkness of the abyssal realm, it is not sound but light that proves most effective. It typically has 20 marginal tentacles and 1 hypertrophied tentacle which is larger than the rest. This long trailing tentacle is thought to facilitate prey capture. Marine biologist Edith Witter created a device based on the Atala jellyfish's distress flashes called the E-jelly, which has been used successfully and efficiently to lure in mysterious and rarely seen deep-sea animals for filming and documentation. This dragonfish embodies all the characteristics of a deep-sea fish designed to conserve energy in a food-scarce environment: large eyes for better vision in the dim light, an enormous mouth armed with sharp, inward-curving teeth to ensure it never loses its catch, a fishing rod-like barbel equipped with sensory fibers and a photophore to lure prey rather than chasing them in the darkness, and flanks covered in silvery scales to reflect ambient light and blend perfectly into its surroundings. These specialized traits make it a dominant predator and one of the most widespread fish in the midwater zone. The species has been observed in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, and fully grown adults can reach a maximum length of 25 centimeters. This colorful squid is a true gem of the ocean. The various jewel-like structures embedded in its body are actually photophores covered with a violet pigmented skin layer. It is believed that the pigment acts as a filter, allowing the squid's light emission to match precisely the spectrum of ambient light. This sophisticated camouflage makes the animal virtually invisible in its environment. Lampadioteuthis megalea is a small squid which grows to a mantle length of 4 centimeters. Most ceratiids exhibit pronounced sexual dimorphism, with dwarf males outnumbering females by 15 to 30 times. Their first challenge, therefore, is locating the rare females in the vast abyss. Once a female is found, the parasitic male latches onto her for life using hooked teeth. Evolution has designated them no other role than to serve as a pocket of sperm, existing solely to fertilize a female. The button-like protrusion on the fish's forehead functions as a bioluminescent lure. Unlike most other deep-sea anglerfish, this species lacks pigmentation, and both sexes appear pallid and translucent, with the musculature and portions of the skeleton clearly showing through the skin. Free-living males only grow to about 2 centimeters, and differ from the adult and juvenile females by the noticeable lack of a short, bubble-like esca and having comparatively small fins. Although this beautiful little jellyfish is abundant in the North Pacific, it was only recently discovered due to the extreme depths at which it lives. It takes descending to 1,000 meters to observe the first specimens, with the highest densities found around 2,000 meters. Its shimmering colors and remarkable beauty inspired the researchers who discovered it to honor their colleague, biologist Claudia Mills, by naming the jellyfish after her. These small ocean-dwelling creatures are bioluminescent. The light emitted by these jellyfish serves as a defense or warning to other creatures. Males and females have both been described, and it reproduces sexually. They are viviparous, and females brood baby medusae attached to the gastric canals inside the subumbrella space. Despite its innocent appearance, this sea snail is far from angelic. It is an active predator that devours other gastropods using a tongue covered with sharp little teeth. Strangely enough, its mouth is located at the top of its head. This species is a highly specialized predator. It preys on pseudothecasomes. On making contact with the wide mucous web of its victim, it grabs the victim with a long proboscis, chitinous hooks and cutting radular teeth. They can eat victims 3 times their own size. This gelatinous octopus belongs to the group nicknamed Dumbo octopuses due to its fin-like appendages resembling elephant ears. It moves by contracting its mantle for propulsion or by alternately flapping its fins in a rotary motion like variable pitch propeller blades. So far, bioluminescent suction cup octopuses have only been observed in the Atlantic Ocean. Its soft, elastic body allows for remarkable transformations. It can inflate, contract, stretch, or twist within seconds. A nearly transparent, silky membrane connecting its arms often balloons into a tutu-like shape when approached by a submersible, possibly as a resting posture or a defensive response to the intruding, noisy machine. The species Storoteuthis cirtensis is particularly unique, as it is one of the few octopuses capable of bioluminescence via its suction cups. Unlike other octopuses that use their suckers for adhesion or prey handling, Storoteuthis has adapted them into tiny light-emitting lanterns to thrive in the deep-sea environment. Living suspended above the ocean floor, it no longer needs adhesive suckers and instead uses its bioluminescence to attract prey, much like insects to headlights. Its diet consists almost entirely of planktonic crustaceans, especially copepods, which are drawn to the light. To capture them, the octopus spins a sticky mucus web between its arms, supported by fine, finger-like structures called cirri. Trapped crustaceans are then consumed in bulk to compensate for their small size relative to the octopus's own. The discovery of luminescent photophores in an octopus, common in squid and cuttlefish, surprised researchers. Understanding the origins of bioluminescence is challenging, as no fossils reveal how organs evolved to produce light. Storoteuthis offers a glimpse into a critical transition, illustrating how surface-dwelling species adapted to the deep sea. This elegant pink octopus exemplifies the ingenuity of life's evolution in the abyss. Alerted by the approach of a predator, a squid with bulbous eyes undergoes an astonishing transformation. This normally slender creature inflates its hollow body with water, transforming into a transparent sphere. If the threat persists, it retracts its head, arms, and tentacles into the cavity. As a last resort, the squid ejects ink inside the bubble, leaving nothing visible but a black orb suspended in the darkness. The squid has 8 short tentacles and a slightly longer pair at the end of its rather swollen body. The only visible internal organ is the digestive gland, similar to the liver of a chordate. The squid is also able to escape predators using jet propulsion. When hydrothermal vents were discovered, researchers were surprisingly dense for the abyss, much like the clusters of tube worms with red plumes. These colonies sometimes cover vast areas, inspiring researchers to give them evocative names such as strawberry fields or the rose garden. Their bodies are divided into 4 regions. The anterior end is called the cephalic lobe, which ranges from 1 to over 200 thin branchial ciliated tentacles, each with tiny side branches known as pinnules. Behind this is a glandular forepart, which helps to secrete the tube. The main part of the body is the trunk, which is greatly elongated and bears various annuli, papillae, and ciliary tracts. To collect the fragile creatures inhabiting the midwater zone, nothing works better than sucking them up with a wide, flared tube. This method allows the animals to be brought up in perfect condition, greatly facilitating the researchers' identification work. In a study of Arctic cephalopods, 3 specimens of Cerateuthis muelleri, all female, were caught near the ocean floor at 3,300 meters. The eggs were found to be large and were laid on the bottom, singly. Its diet was found to comprise small crustaceans and polychaetes, all small benthic or epibenthic prey items. The head has well-developed eyes with lenses. The upper and lower beaks are thin and relatively weak. The body is gelatinous and fragile. While other ceratiids have bioluminescent lures shaped like fishing rods or barbels, the wolf-trap cerat has its light organ hidden inside its mouth, among its long, sharp teeth. Only about 30 specimens have been captured worldwide. The unusual jaw mechanism and esca of Thaumaticthes has been described as a living mousetrap with bait. The premaxillaries on either side of the upper jaw are able to rotate nearly 180 degrees down to trap prey attracted by the luminescent lure. This closing action is affected by large, extremely well-developed upper jaw muscles. Muscles in the elysium allow the esca to be swung forward and backward, so as to better entice prey inside the mouth. The upper jaw mechanism enables prey to be captured without the lower jaw, which can remain moving for the purposes of respiration. Despite this highly specialized predatory apparatus, however, examination of stomach contents revealed sea cucumbers as well as plant matter, suggesting that these fishes are omnivores that will swallow anything edible. It is unknown whether male Thaumaticthes are parasitic. The structure of the jaws in mature males suggests that feeding is impaired after metamorphosis.